Tennis Alex claims Evonne Goolagong trophy in Kooyong Classic. Filipina tennis superstar Alexa claimed the Evonne Goolagong Cawley trophy in the Kooyong Classic. The tournament announced Friday. This was after she defeated Donovich 6-3, 6-4, joining an elite list composed of Mara Andreeva Pong Shuai and Belinda Benek. Alexandra is an amazing young star who has burst onto the scene, said tournament director Peter Johnston, who has nothing but kind words for Eala. Alongside Eala, Karen Kardanoff also won the Luhod Memorial Trophy after defeating world number 31 Francis Thafo. The support from the Filipino community was incredible, and we were thrilled to welcome her to the Kooyong Classic as she builds toward what looks to be a huge year ahead. With Kachanov and Eala, we have two great winners this year, Johnston went on. Read Alexa Carlos Yulo to be recognized PSA Co-Athletes of the Year. This adds to the PNA star's accolades as she was just also named Philippine Sports Writers Association's Co-Athlete of the Year with gymnastics star Carlos Yulo. She's headed to the Australian Open next, where she will face American Alicia Parks first. Grace on grass, Alex, Eala, and the day Kooyong listened. Kooyong has always been a place that listens. Long before the roar of Melbourne Park, before the echoing steel of Rod Laver Arena, tennis in Australia spoke in softer tones on the manicured lawns of the Kooyong Lawn Tennis Club. The grass that does not shout. It whispers, remembers. Champions have passed through its gates like seasons. Lever, Court, Emerson, Goolagong, each leaving behind a footprint pressed gently into history. On this particular summer afternoon, Kooyong listened again. At the center of the court stood Alex Eala, poised not merely between points, but between ears. The Philippine flag stitched onto her kit caught the light as if newly introduced to the Australian sun. Across the net was not just an opponent, but the weight of expectation that accompanies tradition-heavy exhibitions like the Kooyong Classic. And yet, Eala looked calm, unhurried, grounded, unmistakably ready. When the final point was played, and applause rippled outward like a tide meeting shore, the story wrote itself. Alex Eala had claimed the Evonne Goolagong Cawley trophy, a trophy that carries a name and a spirit. The Evonne Goolagong Cawley trophy is more than polished silver. It carries a philosophy. Goolagong herself played tennis with a grace that seemed almost defiant. Defiant of stereotypes, defiant of limitation, defiant of the idea that power must be allowed to be effective. She moved like water, struck like silk, and won with joy. To win a trophy bearing her name is to be momentarily folded into that legacy. Eala understood this. As she accepted the trophy, her smile was not one of conquest, but of gratitude. The applause acknowledged more than victory. It recognized continuity. A young woman from Southeast Asia lifting a trophy named after one of Australia's greatest Indigenous champions was a reminder that tennis at its best transcends borders and generations. The match is a conversation. Grass-court tennis is often described as fast, but at Kooyong, it feels conversational. The ball stays low, yes, but it also asks questions. Can you adjust? Can you listen? Can you respond without panic? Eala answered those questions with intelligence rather than force. Her movement was economical, her shot selection deliberate. When she sliced, it wasn't defensive. It was strategic. When she attacked the net, it felt less like a gamble and more like an invitation. The crowd leaned in, recognizing something familiar yet fresh. A player who understands that winning on grass is about touch as much as timing. There were moments when rallies unfolded like handwritten letters, curved, thoughtful, personal. In those exchanges, Eala did not rush the ending. She trusted the process. Kooyong noticed. From the Philippines to the world stage, Alex Eala's journey has never followed the traditional tennis map. Raised in a country where basketball courts outnumber tennis courts by a wide margin, she grew up carrying both ambition and representation on her shoulders. Each match she plays on an international stage quietly expands the borders of possibility for young players watching from home. Kooyong, that symbolism felt amplified. Here was a Filipina athlete not merely participating in an elite exhibition but commanding it. In a stunning turn of events at the prestigious Kooyong Classic, the tennis world witnessed a rising star etch a name into history. Alex Eala, the young Filipino sensation, has sent shockwaves across the sport with her triumphant capture of the Evonne Goolagong Cawley trophy, cementing her status as one of the most exciting prospects in contemporary tennis. The Kooyong Classic, often regarded as the unofficial prelude to the Australian Open, has long been a proving ground for elite players looking to fine-tune their game before the first Grand Slam of the year. While the tournament has traditionally featured well-established names from the ATP and WTA tours, Eala, at just 19 years old, defied expectations and dominated the competition with poise and precision beyond her years. A Cinderella story in the making. Eala's journey to the Kooyong title has been a narrative straight out of a sports fairy tale. Hailing from Manila, she first drew international attention in her junior career, capturing titles at the US Open and making waves in ITF tournaments. Yet, many pundits viewed her primarily as a future prospect, someone who would eventually make her mark after years of development. Her stunning performance at Kooyong challenges that notion entirely. From the opening match, Eala displayed a blend of tactical intelligence, athleticism, and an unshakable mental fortitude. Observers noted her remarkable court coverage and aggressive baseline play, which allowed her to dictate rallies against opponents with far more experience. Her signature one-handed backhand, reminiscent of some of the greats, cut through the competition like a knife, leaving spectators and rivals alike in awe. The final, a masterclass in nerves and skill. The final match, held under the crisp Melbourne sky, saw Eala face off against a seasoned opponent, widely regarded as the favorite to lift the trophy. From the first serve, it was clear that Eala was not intimidated. She combined precise placement, blistering ground strokes, and an uncanny ability to anticipate her opponent's shots. Despite moments of tension and minor lapses in concentration, a natural challenge for any young player, Eala maintained her composure. When she broke serve to take a decisive lead in the second set, the Kooyong crowd erupted in admiration, recognizing the historic nature of the moment. With a perfectly executed drop shot to seal the victory, she clinched the Evonne Goolagong Cawley trophy, becoming not only the youngest winner in years but also the first Filipino to claim the title. Evonne Goolagong Cawley's endorsement. The trophy itself carries immense symbolic weight. Named after Australian tennis legend Evonne Goolagong Cawley, the award is reserved for players who embody excellence, determination, and sportsmanship. Goolagong Cawley herself was present at the final and lauded Eala's performance, calling her a player with extraordinary potential and a fearless heart. The moment resonated deeply, symbolizing a passing of the torch and a reminder that tennis continues to evolve through new generations. The global reaction,